Welcome, guys, to the Til Death podcast. Listen, today was a fun one. We got into some detail and conversation about how to know if your spouse loves you or not. Ways they love you, ways they don't. Make sure you check it out, watch it with your spouse, and be encouraged today.
I think it's super annoying how so many videos and creators have had to make their videos every 8 seconds something is shifting and changing, and it's 12 minutes long, and I don't know. Kind of hope that part of YouTube dies. Where it's just chasing views and not actual good content.
I agree.
I don't like it. It's annoying.
It is annoying.
Trey's gonna, when he puts this out, it's gonna be on 0.7 speed, just so it makes you guys listen to it slower. We're not gonna do that, I swear.
Promise.
Yeah, promise. Pinky promise. But no, dude, we're gonna jump into the convo. I love today. I think this is important. Mm-hmm. Dude, 10 signs the person that says they love you might actually not love you.
Or how about this? Signs your spouse actually loves you.
Right. That's just not as spicy, right?
For sure.
The spicy one is the clickbait is 10 signs they actually hate you.
10 ways that your partner, your spouse hates you.
You can tell they hate you, actually.
It's terrible.
Ready? We'll give the flip on all of it, right?
Yeah.
So it's, hey, 10 ways you can tell and 10 ways you can show.
Yes.
Number one, dude, if somebody is super hot and cold, I would be concerned about their actual care for you. Mm-hmm. We live in a day and age that is so emotional, it's absurd.
Oh my goodness. It's
everything is based on how I feel.
Right.
Not what I've decided. And the truth is, love is not a feeling. Love is a decision. And you're not always going to feel like, I want to love that person today. Because sometimes they do things that drive you nuts. But it doesn't mean you are hot and cold towards them based upon how you feel that day.
Right.
Love is a decision. And if you're in this cycle or circle of this just loop of hot, cold based upon actions, emotions, feelings, and other outlying conditions, then you're not actually choosing to love the person.
Right.
And it's unfair.
Yeah. And I think ways you can tell, their affection, if they're affectionate, if they're talkative, if they're just super quiet and feel disconnected.
Being a jerk.
Yeah, just being mean.
Like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Rest in peace to the best pre-workout ever, Mr. Hyde. But it just popped into my head. But no, it's crazy because it's true. It's super in love with you and then I don't want anything to do with you. Dude, get your crap in order.
Yeah.
Figure your life out. That's unfair.
It is unfair.
Toward the other person who loves you and you claim to love, but you're unwilling to treat them properly.
Right.
So the opposite to prove that you love somebody, you're going to be consistent.
Yeah, there'll be consistency in your affection, your time together, how you treat each other.
Yeah. And not everything's going to always be perfect.
Right.
Sometimes you might have bad attitude, but it's not a loop.
Right.
Good, bad, hot ice. It's not it. It's not it. That would be a false way to prove that, and completely unfair and completely selfish. And we're going to just really be honest on this. If you're going to be married to somebody, you are not allowed to be selfish and self-centered both ways. If you as a man are supposed to love your wife like Christ loves the church, there's no self-centeredness there. And if the wife is supposed to respect the husband, well, guess what? It's not self-centered and self-focused. So there's no way if you really love somebody, it's going to be a hot, cold loop and cycle. It's unrealistic. You're proving that you care more about yourself than your professed care for the other person.
Right. Yeah.
It's unfair.
True. It's very true.
It's a bunch of bunk. Bunch of bunk.
What? The next one is that they compare you to others, exes, other husbands, other wives. That is just never okay. That's wrong on so many levels and should not be happening at all. Like, you can't hold the standard based on an ex.
Yeah.
They're an ex for a reason. That's crazy. And you can't even hold them to, comparing them to somebody else's spouse.
Dude, that's dangerous.
That's very dangerous. And it causes contempt. It causes mistrust. It causes, hurt. So many things.
And I think it's dangerous too, because you don't know the reality of what those other people are putting off. Like, I remember when we were in Haiti, or maybe when we got back from Haiti, like there was another couple there and they were like lovey-dovey, PDA, laughing about everything. And I don't remember exactly what you said, but essentially like, you were like, I wish we were a little bit more like that. Well, years later now, they're divorced.
Yeah, that was like year 1.
Yeah, she hated me, guys. She said that I wasn't fun, wasn't affectionate. She hated me. No, I'm just kidding. But, like, that's the danger is, sure, they put off those things, but clearly things weren't that good.
Right.
And when you compare what you can just see from the outside, well, it's not a real look. And that gets very unsafe, very unhealthy. Because look at the fruit of it, we're still doing good, way better than we even were. Right. And they're not a thing. That's not like we're better. It's just,
it's sad.
Comparison is dangerous.
Right.
Now, also, I would say like they compare you to other people, or what they do is they hold you to the mistakes of other people.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that. And it is so unhealthy where it's like
it's like this whole thing, right? The women, women are like, men, they have this like stigma, and it's even in marriages where it's like, well, if these specific type of men do this, then all men do this. Right. And they carry that into their marriage or hold their spouse and just assume, which we know what assuming does.
I don't know. Because if I assumed that I knew, then it would be making an ass out of you and me.
Right? There it is.
I don't assume that I know what assuming means when you say that.
But, this is what happens. So then now you carry that into your marriage, and now you think that, well, this is just how my spouse is going to act, and this is what I expect. So you like build up this false expectation, and you live out of that, and it's dangerous. It's not healthy. It's not good. So on the flip, a healthy marriage and a spouse, two people who love each other, they celebrate the uniqueness of their spouse. They don't hold comparison and, well, they do this better or that. No, they understand and celebrate the differences.
And develop the person into who they need
and they
to
encourage
be.
and build them. It's not, well, they're just different and unique. And no, it's you encourage, you build, you speak life.
Which leads us into number 3 is like, you can tell someone isn't super in love with you if they're just trying to change you to benefit themselves. Now, look, trying to change somebody else is not a bad thing. No. At all, in my opinion. Like, people need to grow up, mature, develop. And I think a spouse is one of the best people in your life to help that.
Right.
But if the motivation is to change you for their benefit only, well, then that's off kilter, that's wrong, that's not lined up, because now like you're just their project to be exactly what they want you to be, not who God made you to be.
Right.
Not who God determined you to be or gifted and talented you to be. And that's dangerous, because that other person now is actually going to be suppressed in who their genuine, mature, developed self should become.
Right. And I think ultimately, I don't even think really our goal is to do it for the other person. It is an act of love. It's an act of service, I think, when we work on different things. But ultimately, we need to be pushing each other to be more like Christ. Bottom line. So if you're only trying to push them to change, to make yourself happy, and they're doing it, well, now you're both wrong.
Yes.
Because now the motive is wrong. The intention is wrong. We're supposed to encourage and build each other to be more like Christ, to be more like what his word says, based on, who we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to live our life. So It's nothing's wrong. It's healthy. We should be changing. We should be maturing.
Yes.
We should be growing.
Confront those parts in the person.
Right. And you do it lovingly, but just to say, hey,
doing?
I actually don't like any of this about you and you need to change it. Because then what happens?
Yeah, why'd you marry them?
Why did you marry them? And
it's because the sex was good.
But it's like, now you want them to change like who they are as a core, who God created them to be. God gives us our personalities and our differences and uniqueness. And if someone's trying to change those things, it's their issue. The issue really lies within them.
Yeah.
So the healthy flip of this, when you love each other, you're going to encourage and build each other. You're both going to be maturing and growing.
Yeah.
And it's not a point the finger of like, I just don't like this about you and you need to change that. No, like it's, I understand. I can see where this is a weakness. I can see where this, I could get better at this.
That's true.
And then you grow together. But ultimately, your goal is to grow together in Christ, to be more like Jesus, not just to appease the other person.
Absolutely. That's good. You're so smart. Look at you.
This guy.
No, I'm being serious though. Learn how to take compliment. Change it now.
Thank you so much.
Change it now. Be demure.
I don't even know. What is this? Can someone help me? Listen, guys.
Basically, when I hear that word, I just think
old.
about Jade. It's like prim and proper. It's like demure.
Sister Jade.
It's because she's British.
Oh my word.
Kidding. She's
guys,
South African.
I can't keep up with all these trends. I am officially that age now. It's sad. I don't know what to do. I'm just accepting it. I don't know what
I think it all started with your geriatric pregnancy.
Demure and what's the other one? Cutesy or whatever. I don't even know what I'm even saying, right? It's just like weird.
Old, proper. I think it's like new language for being proper. Like what was the show on TV forever ago with the Hispanic wife and the blonde? I Love Lucy.
Forever? You mean like out of the 50s?
Yeah, I said forever ago, dude.
That's like decades ago now.
Yeah, but I think when I think of those words, I think of like I Love Lucy.
Oh, well, I don't
Like
think
very
that's how all these
soft and
Gen
very,
Alpha and Gen Z are used.
they got to learn. It's all cycles, dude. It's all cycles. It was like, I am woman. I don't need a man. Now it's like, me be dainty and cute. I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Anyway. They can just go to etiquette school with Jade. She should start that's what she could do. She should start a whole women's etiquette. Man, what is it called? Series on her socials.
Oh my
she
word.
could teach everybody to be demure.
All right, Jade, you heard it. I don't know.
Hello, Jade.
Okay.
Are you keen to that, Jade? Okay, I'm sorry.
The next one.
They don't make time for you.
They don't make time for you.
That's weird. If you like someone, you're going to be around them.
Yeah, and if you're married, you should be making time for each other. But
prioritizing spending time.
I have seen, there's couples where they don't make time for each other.
Oh, I think they intentionally make time away from each other.
Right.
And that would actually be probably to take that a step farther. If your spouse is intentionally taking more work and I'm just so busy
Overtime.
and more shifts and overtime, you're like, we don't really need the money and it's this. It's like, they're probably avoiding you.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't want to be around you. And it might be a you thing and it might be a them thing, but it's a very concerning thing if your spouse loves work more than being around you.
Right. That's
I'd be a little red flaggy. Obviously there's
it's mad sus.
Weird.
It's what
I
it
just
is.
unsubscribed from our channel.
No,
when you said that.
It's sus.
I unsubscribed. But for real, and it's not always the case, of course. There's none of this is 100% gospel. But if somebody is taking all the extra work and doing all these extra things and never home, and it's like, why aren't you home? They are probably avoiding you. Mm-hmm. Or maybe you're avoiding them. You need to change that. And it's because there's not been development of the person. If they're acting right, they're not acting right. And they're there's so many people that are so afraid to address how their spouse is or acting or talking or living. Just deal with it.
Right.
I don't know why people are so soft nowadays. Just deal with the issues.
Right.
Or they're going to be mad. Cool. Let them be mad. They'll appreciate it in like a short time.
Right. Well, again, it just comes back and shows maturity. You know, if you can't talk to your spouse about it, or if, you know.
Yeah, we did a whole pod on that. Go find it.
Seriously. I mean, it's time to grow up. If you're married, you've told the world that you're an adult. So then act like one.
Yes.
Take responsibility. Have some healthy confrontation. Take care of the issue. Grow up.
Love it. Ready? They dismiss your feelings all the time. If somebody doesn't care about your feelings, it's hard to know if they really love you.
It's true.
You could probably talk about that more because you're a lady.
There it is. See?
I think the goal on all these is like, how can we make people mad?
Oh.
I'm sure feminists are like in love with us.
Come for them, femmes.
What? What was that? All right, go ahead. Talk to us about
Why
your
are you
feelings.
making it weird? You're the one making it weird.
Talk to us about your feelings.
No. Okay. So I think that there definitely needs to be some healthy balance. You know, I think it's extremely unfair. And listen, we can all laugh and joke because there are moments where it's like,
yeah, you're being emotional.
You're being extremely emotional
You're
for
8
no
months
reason.
pregnant. Chill out.
Okay.
Don't say that though.
Hold on. You just okay.
Shock value.
So there are moments where, and listen, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Men are not excluded from this, okay?
Well,
there are a lot of emotionally driven men.
It's true. It's insane.
And there are a lot of men who need to put on their big boy pants and freaking not be emotional all the time.
You just said the F word.
Okay? But ladies, we can be a little dramatic sometimes and a little overkill. If it's that time of the month, if we are pregnant or just, you know, there are moments where we can and do go a little over the top being emotionally led. Okay. But at the same hand, men, if your wife is bringing an issue to you and it happens to be the time of the month or they're pregnant, your first reaction should never be, "Oh, you're just emotional and you're in your feelings because you're pregnant or it's that time of the month, huh?" You're just
I didn't ever do that,
PMS.
did I?
Like,
I think maybe I've made a joke about it once or twice.
like if you want to instantly trigger and start an argument and actually like drive it to a place where it can probably not be healthy, don't say those things. That's honestly, that's immaturity. Because now you're just saying to her, nothing you're saying actually has any value and means nothing because you're shrugging it off.
So how should you say, "Hey, you're just pregnant. That's why you feel this way"? How do you say that without getting red rummed?
Well, say, "Okay, I hear what you're saying. Can we give it a couple more days and see if, you know, if it's like seems like it's not a big deal. If it still bothers her in a couple of days, if you bring it up and it still bothers her in a couple of days, like, then it's probably a legit thing. Versus if it's that time of the month and it's not a big deal, you'll know if it's still something that's there, it's a thing. If it's something like, "What are you talking about?" Then you know, okay,
Yeah, you were just
and you don't
hungry.
have to say that. You don't have to be like, "Oh, I knew it was just this talking." Like, just don't do that.
Okay.
Just don't say that. That's just ignorance.
Yeah, and guys, just
And
stop being babies.
can I just say this though?
I don't know. Can
No, listen, because this is a huge one.
Say what you need to say.
Listen, it's not when a woman is pregnant, like her emotions are on a whole new level. And it's not just that she's unstable. Things are heightened because things are actually changing. and atmospheres are changing and life is about to change. So if you show that you love them, then take into consideration a little more that actually this might be a little bit more pressing than it probably normally would be because things are heightened. Not just because they're pregnant and emotional. That is like an appetite for disaster. And same for the time of the month. Like, just ask the question. Okay, I hear you. Can we also adjust this again maybe a couple days?
You might get beat up.
You know, just use wisdom in your response. Do not just shrug off and swipe away what she's trying to bring to you because you think it's just that.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
But also, ladies, try to remind yourself, is this actually something? Will this still be something that's been bothering me in a couple of days before I even bring it up?
I love it. I agree. All right, next one. They keep secrets. Dude.
Don't keep secret. That is
weird.
Like weird. That honestly is weird.
It means you don't trust them. And you can't have love without trust.
It means you don't trust them, and now you're breeding distrust.
Or you know they can't trust you. So
yeah, both of it. It's all just not good.
It's just ugly. Like, dude,
it's not good.
Trust is the pinnacle of this thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's
foundational cornerstone of this thing.
Absolutely.
You're going to keep secrets about, dude, what is so secretive about your life? It's
if something's
weird.
That pressing that you got to keep a secret about it, you probably have bigger issues.
Yeah, you've been acting up, dude.
You've been doing some shady stuff
in order. Yeah, it's weird. And people like, well, it's my phone. What do you have to hide? Who cares? Well, it's my bank account. Who cares?
No.
What were you up to? What are you doing? It's not, you don't need to know. That's weird.
Actually, they do. They have the right to know. Like, you
tell me where you were, woman.
It's like, but it's just like, you prove that you're unhealthy.
Yeah, like, why'd you turn your location off, Melinda?
Because for some reason, even if nothing's happening, automatically you're causing concern to think like you're hiding something, that you're doing something you shouldn't be. That it eradicates like any kind of trust, and trust is huge. So
we can spend a whole other one on that, which would be fun. We'll jump to the next one, right?
All right, next one. We can spend a whole one on that, so we'll save it. Are they disrespectful towards your family and your friends?
If they need to be disrespected. No.
No, but honestly, there should be a healthy balance of like, even if you don't, because families can be hard. Family can really be hard. Some people have extremely dysfunctional families or unsafe families, or just might believe very differently than you. So you need to both be on the same page when it comes to your family, their family, and know, like, listen, these are the lines that we just can't cross. Like, I understand these things are difficult about them, but we just can't go there. But to just blatantly, he's doing that, I'm bored stare.
No, I'm listening. I'm learning.
No, you were just like looking down again, just
I'm
not enough.
From you.
Trey, get this man. See, guys, if they think you're boring, then there's an issue.
That's crazy. No, my stomach hurts.
He's got a belly ache.
I do. My tummy hurts.
Okay, but you just can't be
old chicken.
They can't be talking trash, being
clean
disrespectful.
It up, guys. Number 8.
That one's easy.
You feel alone even when they're right there. It's like emotional distance.
Yeah.
That's weird. Well, I'm not emotional. Well, you don't have to cry on your wife's shoulder, weirdo. Like,
yeah.
Just be emotionally connected.
Be invested. Care about what they are talking about.
Goober, if you want more of the good stuff, be emotionally connected. Duh. I saw this video the other day. It was like, getting your husband excited and like flick the light switch, and then it was like getting your wife excited and they were working in the panel box, seeing what things were on, what things were off, trying to fix it. It's like, it is very different. But guess what? Make sure the main breaker's on, bro. Just have an emotional connection.
It's true.
It's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
You're gonna be okay. Things are gonna be fine.
Yeah, but this is the thing. You're supposed to be best friends. You should want to know.
BFFs for E.
Like, you should want to know what's going on in their life, what they're feeling, what they like and don't like,
do you have a secret
about their
handshake?
day. Like, you should want to know all of those things. You should want to talk to them and tell them about your day. Like, I think it's weird when two people just sit in a room for hours and don't talk. I'm not saying every second needs to be talking, but my goodness.
Please no.
Have conversations, talk, have fun, laugh together, joke together.
It's true.
You know, talk about your interests.
100% true. Yeah, be emotionally connected.
Yeah.
That's another whole video topic we could have.
It is, yeah.
Number 9, they don't compromise. I just talked to a lady. She was married for 47 years to her husband. He passed away. And that was one of her points. I was like, what made it work? She said, compromise.
It's so
She
true.
said, compromise and have fun.
Yeah, it's so
really,
true.
Really easy. Compromise and have fun.
Yeah, if they're never willing to do things how you want them or have interest in what you're doing, and it only ever has to be their way or no way, their way or the highway.
It's how I run my home.
It's my way. Like,
right.
that's
You're
kind of
weird.
idiotic.
I mean, sometimes you gotta pull
Yeah,
up, but
and I'm not saying you always have to, but like, you know,
got
and there
problems,
are
Bob.
some things that you don't have to compromise on, like, but you needed to, you know, figure those out within your family. But just basics,
to always
like,
demand your way.
it's not love.
No.
Love does not demand its own way.
1 Corinthians chapter 13 says that.
There it is, the address. So, you know, you have to learn to compromise. You have to learn.
Absolutely.
It's about give and take. It's serving. But this is the thing. It's easy to compromise if your goal is to outserve them.
There you
in
go.
love. Easy. Boom.
Yeah, literally the Bible says outdo one another in love.
Yes. Yeah.
It makes it easy. And then the last one, to land this plane today.
To land it.
To land it. Really easy is like, if they're not talking about the future with you, they might not plan to have a future with you.
It's a big one.
Pregnant pause. So that's pretty scary. If they're not, you should see what's going on. You should figure out what's there and not there. See what's going on in their head and their heart. And then clearly the flip is the opposite, is you share the future. You dream about the future together. You have future plans for your life, your family, direction of life, and what you're going to do.
And it should be fun to do together. Talk about it.
Yeah, heck yeah. Dream about it. And then work towards it.
Yeah.
Got plans, guys. Got big plans.
Got big plans.
Big plans. Might be able to upgrade some cameras here.
Word.
No. All right. But look, we have done a couple interviews, and I think the interviews are incredible. You should go back and watch the interviews.
Go watch them.
Go watch the one with Keenan. Go watch the one with Buddy and Misha. Like, go watch the interviews. I think they're so helpful. One of my mentors told me, you know, the secret is in the conversation, and they might just say one thing that just changes everything for you.
Everything.
So there's also, 22 other videos. Go back, watch through them. We pray that this is helping you grow. And then watch it with your spouse. Share it with your spouse.
Use it
and then
to
have
grow.
some conversations with your spouse about the topic, so you can be better in the second most important relationship your entire life. First is with God, second is with your spouse. But we love you guys. We'll see you next week.